Well, Tom, I'm going to drag some people up here for questions. I'll ask one more, and I'll just cut right to the chase.
Yeah, absolutely.
What can you tell us about the new Star Wars movie?
Nothing.
Well, no, I can tell you some things. Mark Hamill and who's Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia, who's Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, who's Han Solo, are all in it. And being paid more for one movie than I'll make in 3 lifetimes.
Oh, wow.
I'm supposedly going to be in it in various places, just doing some various droid noises and voices and stuff like that. So you'll hear me, but you may not know who I am. Some of the plot line is that these people are all kind of separated. They don't know where Luke Skywalker is. They don't know really where Han is. They've kind of all gone their separate ways, because even though the Death Star was destroyed, and the Emperor was killed. Or was it? Anyway, even though all that stuff happened, the dark side of the Force is still there, and it's still trying to do its mischief. And so all this bad stuff has taken place all over the universe, so the light side of the Force decides it has to step up its game and make some people more powerful to fight the bad guys. You might even say that the Force awakens. Anyway, so there you go.
Okay, do I have any questions? You want to raise your hands? You want to come up here?
What? Yes?
Come on up. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see.
Yeah, Alex.
Of course, all of that I got off Fanfest website, so I'll maybe a bunch of movies. So.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm an aspiring voice actor, and I'm wondering what advice you would have for voice actors.
Oh boy. Well, it's a little different for women than for men, because there are fairly different opportunities for women than men. Men can go after the superhero roles, the Batman, Superman. They have some women superhero roles, obviously. But most of those obviously go to men. But women get a chance at not only the superhero roles, but they get a chance at the normal character roles, the school teacher, just like the men can go after the school principal. So there's kind of pretty even distribution of stuff. Where women actually have a little bit of an advantage is they get to go after the kids' roles, because almost all the roles you hear, 5-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids, are not kids. They're women, but sound like kids. I mean, Dora the Explorer was a kid. Tommy Pickles of the Rugrats is now a 60-year-old woman with 3 children. She was also Nancy Cartwright. Nancy Cartwright is also was Tommy Pickles. She was also Babe the Pig, and she's now at the age of 62, I believe. She'll kill me for saying that. At the age of 62, and having going on now 26 years of the same cartoon, longest running show in television history, she's still Bart Simpson. So when you hear Bart Simpson going, "Don't have a cow, man," that's a 60-year-old woman. And when she started doing it, she was 35. So it's amazing. So women have a whole range of things available to them in animation that men don't have, and that's kids' voices. That's the only area of voiceover work, animation, where women have as many roles available to them or more than the men do. Unfortunately, the rest of the world has not caught up to animation. In the area of commercials, which is where you make a lot of your bread and butter, that's just not the case. It's like 9 to 1. You're about 10% of the voiceovers. If you just listen to the TV and count the number of roles that are men, either on camera or voiceover, just keep track for an hour, and you'll be like, wow, there were 2 women and 8 guys. So that's still it's better than it used to be. When I first started doing voiceover work, it was no joke. It was about 2 out of 100. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, in order how to get there, talk. Just be a nutbag. I used to walk up and down the aisles at the A&P grocery store, and he knows it well. The A&P grocery store, 95th and all, which is where we'd go shopping. And I'd walk up and down the aisles at the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I would mimic the commercials I heard on TV. I'm sure people thought I was just BS crazy. You know, I would walk down the cereal aisle and I'd look to the right with, as I had my little sister there who was just mortified at having to go to the grocery store with her brother. Embarrassed as all get out. Because imagine, this is, Prairie Village, Kansas. And here I am walking up and down the aisles with my 5-year-old sister in hand, and I'm going, oh, Lucky Charms, they're delicious. Our Frosted Flakes, they're great. And a sandwich just isn't a sandwich without the tangy zip of Miracle Whip brand salad dressing. And I would do that for every commercial I could think of, and that was my way of rehearsing. I would practice. And people stared at me like I was a nut, but it got me where I am today. So don't be afraid of being embarrassed. Don't be afraid of making yourself look like an idiot in public, because someday you'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
Yay! Woo!
Have another question?
Hi there, good afternoon, Mr. Kane. So excited that you've joined us today. I have a quick one. What is your favorite Yoda phrase?
Well, my favorite Yoda phrase, because I am 6'5", and I'm usually, when people meet me, if Lucasfilm sends me around to sign pictures for fans, and sometimes it'll be like the next month this month actually, I'm going to Phoenix, Arizona, and in 6 months I'll be going to Australia and New Zealand. So I meet people all over the world, and because the world is the way it is today, there's people from everywhere. So I may be in Phoenix, Arizona, and there'll be 3 people all of a sudden in front of my table. I'm sitting at a card table, an 8-foot-long table, and I've got an assistant, to my right. Here, there's my assistant. Yeah. I've got an assistant to my right who, the place that brings me out charges usually like $20 to get a signed autograph. Something that looks like, let's see if I can find one. You're getting over here. Look around my office too. I'll be with you in just a second. Let's see. Something that looks like that. And that's the official Lucasfilm logo there in the corner. But they'll have something like that there, and they charge $20 to have me personalize it to them in an autograph.
Oh wow!
And it helps cover the cost, of flying me out there and the hotels and that kind of my meals and all that stuff. So that's the only reason they charge for it. I feel kind of weird about it sometimes because it's like my signature. What is that worth? But everyone seems to be happy with it. So, but at every place I go, there are usually people that are from other countries that have heard what's going on and they want to get an autograph. And the absolute best are people from Japan. I'll be sitting there behind this little card table, and there'll be 1 or 2 or 3 people from Tokyo or someplace like that standing in front of me, and with with broken English, they allow, we would like autograph Mr. Kane, or all of this. I go, yeah, sure. And I'm like, to who? And the guy will try to spell his name out, and it's like, oh, crazy. I'm like, okay, and I'll sign to do it. And then I hand it to them. They go, oh, don't worry, thank you very much. And then I go, and they go, we take a picture. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And at that point, I stand up and I go, okay, let's get a picture. Well, at that point now, I'm 6'5". And they look down, and they come up to about here. And I'm up here, and they go like this. They go, and they absolutely have a meltdown about how tall Yoda is. And they take pictures of me again because I'm tall. And but the reaction is always hilarious. Everyone around them is like, what the heck is going on? Because they're all of them together like, it's like Godzilla just walked in the room. So anyway, that's my favorite thing. I love meeting people from countries that they're not used to seeing people my height. Or people that do what I do, and you combine those two, that my most famous character is only supposed to be, 2.5 feet tall, and I'm, 6.5 feet tall, and it just makes for some hilarious fun. So I think Yoda's my favorite.
Next question.
How you doing, Todd?
Good.
Good. My question is, when exactly did you start doing the Yoda voice, and how long did it take you to perfect it?
Wow.
Well, I started doing it badly when I saw the movie. May something, 1977. So it was 35 years ago right now that the movie came out. And like everybody else my generation, Henry will tell you the same thing. We didn't have any clue what we were expecting. We thought it was just going to be some cheesy sci-fi movie out of Hollywood. And I remember me and my friend David Locke, we're sitting there it was Friday, and it happened to be the Friday that was the last day of 9th grade. We were done with school. And school had gotten out, we'd signed our yearbooks, everybody was home, and now we're like, okay, what? Now what? So, we're sitting there looking through the Kansas City Star newspaper. We didn't have the interwebs. No interwebs back then. And so we would turn the page, and then there was this full page, this guy holding a lightsaber, and David said, well, there's a Star Wars thing, what is that? And my exact words were, I don't want to watch that looks dumb. And we turned the page. Well, we finally ended up back at that because it's the only thing that looked remotely interesting. So we went to the Glenwood Manor Convention Hall.